Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And yeah, this is one. You might notice you've done this one before. It's revisited. It's right, or you might not notice because nobody watched that video. I did Eraser originally for Pick 1090s number two. It was number two in that one. It was the first Pick 1090s, but it was the second one in that. So yeah, and nobody watched it. Zero views. Why? Why? Well, I went back. I was shooting here. This was 4 years ago, so I've been sitting here at least for 4 years in this one. But I gave it a not worth your time, which is now a middle of, or which is now a stuck in the mud because they changed the rating name. But I don't believe that. See, when I watched it, I don't think I paid enough attention to this movie. I really didn't. And so now I'm back 4 years later, checking it out because I wanted to revisit some of the other ones I didn't give the right time I take to, like this one, Red Heat, Collateral Damage, which I don't have a review for. One thing I can think of, and I don't remember if I did this or not, is that nobody watched it, so I deleted it. I think I can just do one over. And I didn't do this one because it was in Pick 1090s. It's the only thing I can think of. I don't remember a lot of decisions I make when it comes to videos on here. Because there's some videos I swear I did, and they're gone. Did I delete them and say I'll just do them again later? I don't remember. But I'm trying to delete my content. I have all my content stay on here, except for the tech feature review that was nonsense. Maybe the stuff that I was deleting because of Kappa that I really didn't need to delete. But here we are now. Eraser, starring from 1996, directed by, turning the controller back on, Chuck Russell. Rest in peace. He just passed away very recently. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Vanessa Williams, Jimmy Caan. Rest in peace to him too. James Coburn. He's been dead for a while, but rest in peace to him. Robert Pastorelli, Tony Longo, Tony Stark's dad. I forgot the actor's name. John Slattery is in this. Michael Papajohn. Dennis Carradine from Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and many more. And this is Arnold plays U.S. Marshal John Kruger, who's in charge of. He works with WITSEC, so he's in charge of taking the people into witness protection, essentially erasing them from existence, giving them new names. You've been erased. That whole thing, and. The plot thickens when he's tasked with erasing a woman named Lee, or what's her last name? Is her first name? That is her first name. Named Lee Call. I thought it was her last name. Lee, who has some who had gotten some evidence on the company that she worked for. And was working with the FBI, but there was a mole in the FBI, because of course there is. And then there's also a mole in his agency, who is obviously James Caan, because it's James Caan. You're not going to have him in the movie without him being a villain. I've seen Bulletproof. I know what he is. What'd you say you do? Huh? What'd you say you do? You said you would suck my... What'd you say? Huh? I've seen that, yeah. Yes, so... You see the first scene. And I did mention this in my previous review. I caught a little bit of it that I called this. And again, I'm rewatching this. I didn't remember certain things. It's one of those things where you go back and rewatch it. This is really, really familiar, but I didn't remember everything. I watched this once 4 years ago, and I haven't watched it again since. So I'm watching it now, and I'm watching this, and you see these guys, this guy and his wife, Dave. Essentially, they're shot, but they're not really shot. It's all part of the plan. His name is Johnny Castelloni, I think is his name, and his wife. Yep, it was him. I don't, but he sets them up. He puts dead bodies in there, and he says, "Okay, you've been erased," and you put them in a witness protection program. So there it is. We then cut to Lee, who is she's alerted the FBI that her company she works for, Cyrez, the executives there have financed a special electromagnetic rifle which fires aluminum rounds. It's fired by electromagnet, which I guess is based on something real, and they're going to sell it all on the black market. So she set up with the FBI to set up a sting. She gets data downloaded onto a disk. And one thing that I don't like about this, it's a bit too wrapped up every time. It is like she puts it onto the disc, she's ready to go, she's gonna leave, and then all of a sudden she goes, boss wants to see you. She's like, yeah, tell him I'll be there. No, now. And he's like, hey, I got this footage from the camera right here. Saw you doing what you were doing. And I'm just like, yeah, no. I mean, it's realistic. But you think if they were setting things up, the FBI would have done something with the cameras, but they just, or thought about the cameras. It's a convenience where it's like, oh, we didn't think about it. Why not? You think the cameras in there? She's like, and he shoots himself. Which, apparently he's got air compressed windows in his office. Is that a thing? Because I'm so high, I don't know. Because he shoots himself, the bullet goes through the window, and he's like, eh. And of course then she's blamed for it. And she delivers the disc. But, Kruger's riding a protective, but she refuses to do it. And the disc that she has is replaced with a fake, because Secretary of Defense Harper is also in on it. Of course he is. So, of course, this was funny, kinda. So Lee's in there and she's talking to a friend of hers, a doctor, a friend of hers, about it. She has why she would be talking freely on the phone about this. She has another copy of it she's gonna send to her. Not doctor, but like she works for the news or something, and they're gonna just release it into the public, which, you know, her ex-boyfriend shows up. She's like, "You can't just walk into my house. We're not together anymore. We broke up." He's like, "Oh, come on, baby." And I saw this guy. I go, "Is he that drill sergeant dude from Saved by the Bell?" Or his name is Daryl here, and I just looked up. That's why I went, "Yeah, it's him." Because just the way he was talking, I could picture him in Saved by the Bell going, "Well, I'm gonna try." You know, I'm gonna try. Whatever he says like that. That's how he gets like my ear. He gets shot the fuck because they're using these guns, these rifles, the electromagnetic rifles, and they're shooting. Why did this make me all weird? I don't know. I just itch my ear. I don't know. Mess my equilibrium up for a second. Anyway, and so like Kruger comes in with flowers trying to save her, which he does. Daryl dies though, so the mercenaries were sent by Cyrez CEO Eugene Morhart, and she's rescued by Kruger. And several witnesses are being murdered due to someone in Witsec leaking information. But I don't know if we're ever told why all the other witnesses are getting killed. They're not, as far as I know, they're not connected to this case. So why are they just like all going after all these witnesses, right? I don't know. So they're starting to transfer all the witnesses to other locations. So then Kruger's brought in by his mentor McGarren, who is played by James Caan, who is obviously the bad guy. And you know what a great tell is? For a bad guy, when he smokes his cigarettes like this. Bad guy every time. Because that's he does. He's like, he's a bad guy. Not just because he's played by James Caan, but because he smokes his cigarettes like that. It's like, yeah. He's a bad guy. To be fair, I don't think they show him smoking until after he's confirmed to be a bad guy, because having him smoke like that would confirm he's a bad guy. I think the writers even were like, we can't have him show him smoking before that, as far as I know. So they go in to supposedly raid a cabin and rescue one of the letter's witnesses from a team of assassins. But DeGarren comes in, shoots the lady, and then it acts like... and then where's the witness when she overhears one of her captors reveal he is the mole? I don't remember that. He just shoots her. So they get on the plane and they're flying somewhere. And DeGarren drugs Kruger. I thought he was acting like he was drugged, but he's not. He tells her 911 as he feels the effect of the drug. He's just... and she gets the hell out of there. And then... Danny Nucci didn't have very good in the 90s. You know, he was on a Titanic as Fabrizio. He died there. And here, well, he's just collateral damage. That's the wrong movie. Because, like, he drugs Kruger. Kruger wakes up, and then... Or no, he drugs Kruger, and then he takes Kruger's gun, which he has wrapped around his fingerprints gun, shoots the guy, and he's like, I need a guy's name because of how he says it. He goes, Monroe. Kruger wakes up and is like, what happened? He goes, you just killed Monroe. What? The first like, where are we going? New York. That's off course. What happened? You just killed Monroe. What? So this is ridiculous. He somehow, because you're not supposed to be able to do this, he's able to open the door to a plane from the inside, which this should be impossible. He then clings to the outside of the plane. He flings something into the... Say what it is. He flings something into the engine, which causes it to start crashing. Of course, Wikipedia wouldn't say. Let me go to IMDb and see if that helps. I need a little more help with it because I didn't know what he threw in there. That's just what it is. Eraser movie. All. Here we go. It's just slow at loading today, I guess. Eraser. Open erased. Okay. Hey, there's the DVD, the Blu-ray collection I got. It has both this and Collateral Damage. Mistakes. That's another one I should do. I don't own it, but maybe I can find it streaming somewhere. There's a plot synopsis. Taglines. He will erase your past to protect your future. That's not a bad tagline. That's not a bad tagline, let me tell you. Finds a photo of the ambulance. John. He's in Atlanta. As he can sense that this was a ruse for DeGarren. Okay, so he tells him she's in Atlanta because he figured out something's wrong. He's drugged. She's instructed to leave the safe house and wait for her to pay phone by the near city zoo. The zoo, we'll get to that. They trace the call. He called her on a shift R. Corrupt, the Garen explains. But they are a go-between for a wealthy buyer who plans to purchase the rifle. John escapes the plane. Again, it doesn't say. He throws something into the engine, then he jumps out. Well, he throws the parachute out. Then he jumps out. He's able to get the parachute, put the thing on, and then they turn around to try to hit him. He eventually gets the parachute to come out, and then just lands on a vehicle in a junkyard. But there's two kids there, and he's like, "Is this your father's truck?" He's like, "I need to borrow it." They're like, $50. $50. You just want Arnold to turn to the camera and go, "Kids." Yeah. John meets up with Lee, and they go through the New York City Zoo. This is he releases some alligators to help trap and kill the mercenaries. It kind of helps. Oh, this is terrible because they're CGI. Some look like they're real, but then some is CGI, or maybe it's just composited wrong. It looks terrible. There gotta be some CGI, but he's fighting some of them off. He shoots one in the face and goes, "Your luggage." I said a line when he did it. I'm like, anybody want a new purse? How he says his use. Anybody want a new purse? But his line, "Your luggage." A little bit better. So they run off. And, but the Garen has them branded fugitives. And so Kruger decides he needs help and goes to find the guy he says at the beginning, Johnny, to help him infiltrate Cyrez and use Donahue's terminal to decrypt Lee's second disc. So he comes in dressed as a pizza guy, and the security like bum rushes him. He's like, hey, and then they have him up against the thing. And he puts something in his mouth. And I'm like, what is that? And they're like, it's just pizzas. Donnie D, we found the pizzas. Only one person's gonna get that joke, and he ain't gonna watch this video. Anyway, so whatever he put in his mouth causes him to foam over the mouth. They think he's having a seizure. So while this distraction happens, they go in there and decrypt the disc. The disc reveals that a huge shipment of the EM rifles has been stashed at the docks in Baltimore, and the buyer is the Russian mafia boss Sergei Ivanovich Petrovsky. That's the name. Who plans to sell the weapons to terrorists, because of course they do. But they figure out that something's going on. They immediately find them because plot convenience. It's like, oh, they're doing something. Oh, there they are. It's like, can we stop with the plot convenience, please? It's like, we have to have a chase. They can't just leave. You know? The Garen kidnaps Lee and takes her to the docks. And then we get more Arnold goodiness, I guess. The shipment is being loaded onto the docks. So, Donnie's like, hey, I got a guy who can help you. He's like, no, go home. Be safe. He's like, no. You protected me. And now I need to help you. He's like, we'll go to my cousin, Tony Tutos. It looks like you could be his grandfather, for God's sake. He's like, he controls the docks. He can help us out. So he shows up. He's like, hey, there's an arms deal going down at the docks. He's like, tell me something I don't know. And the guy's like, it's being done by Russian terrorists that I don't know. Kind of fun. So they kill Petrovsky and his henchmen. Calderon and Schiff. And in a struggle to stop top the shipping container, DeGarren tries to shoot Lee. But John shows up to save the day and destroys the pulley system, causing them to crash. DeGarren, I feel like there's a couple more people on there, but it falls, crashes. DeGarren flies off the thing, and maybe he has I don't know, but he's just like, I'm fine. Well, not here, but like he falls down, and it exposes the EM rifles, and then he arrests McGarren, and yeah. So now John and Lee are proved innocent, and now they are indicted for treason. But he's like, I did what I did. I'm proud of what I did. And they're like, are you admitting to treason? No, it's patriotism. However he talks, I did it for my country, and I'll do it again, or whatever he was trying to say. And he gets in. He's like, hey, we gotta do something. They're gonna talk. And they're talking about how, they're going to win. And they're like, they might never it might not stick. And then the van that they're in, that John and Lee are in, explodes. Just. And then the guys in the lawyer drive off, and they're like, hey, that was perfect. Big explosion. We were right there to see. We had nothing to do with it. Though, in my head, if I'm anyone working for the cops at the FBI, I'm like, yeah, obviously they're behind it. They did be suspects number 1, 2, and 3 right here. It's McGarren. This is not the right page. McGarren. Harper and Morehart are the 3. And he's like, yeah, that was really brilliant. You did a very good job. He's like, me? What do you... Yeah, you set it up. Me, looked just like it right there. He's like, I thought you did that. No, I didn't do it. I didn't do what you're talking about. And then the limiter stops. He's like, hey, what's going on? And Johnny gets out of the thing. He's like, walks off, and then he receives a phone call. And I think it's Morehart. Hello? It's for you. Yeah? You've been arrested. Huh? Huh? And he looks over, and he's standing there in the Susan. Yeah. And the train just crashes right into it, killing all 3 of them. And John gets back into the car. Kruger gets back into the car. She goes, what happened to them? He looks at her and he goes, they caught a train. And then the movie ends. I'm like, this is one of the most Arnold movies ever. Some say Commando's most Arnold movie. There was a lot of bullshit in this. Alligators. McGarren should be dead. By the way, he's just walking with a cane. Like, no. You are on top of a shipping freighter. It crashed. You fell off of it. You would have more than just a bad leg. You have broken bones everywhere. Come on, give me a fucking break. One character that I had not mentioned is U.S. Marshal Widsec Chief Arthur Beller, played by James Coburn, the late James Coburn, who is the only one to believe that John didn't do what they're saying he did, and he finds it a little bit scummy. And he's standing there talking. There's a scene where he's talking to DeGarren, and DeGarren, and I'd be him if I was him, I'd be like, well, you're smoking your cigarette like you're a bad guy, so I'm not gonna believe you. I'd probably get shot for that, but he's just like, yeah, he killed him. He killed Daryl, or not Daryl. What were the guy's names? Monroe, and yeah, I think he's gonna kill her too. How do they explain the other witnesses getting killed? They never really explain why they are. They're just going and killing them. There's no real, they're not connected to these rifles. Only Lee is. Are they just going to every address just to see if... Are they killing every single one of the witnesses? Just in case, because they don't know who it is that has the proof? I don't know. That to me doesn't really make any sense. Maybe I missed something. I don't know, but yeah, I actually did end up enjoying this. I gave a little golf clap at the end. It's not bad. I'll give it a middle of the road. Certainly not worth your time or stuck in the mud as that would indicate from last time. No, I actually enjoyed this a little bit more now that I was actually paid more attention to it. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Eraser? Let me comment below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.